once upon a time, there were three friends who started a company. And this company was Telaeris. This started in 2005. And the idea behind Telaeris at the time was we had a ton of experience in RFID. And we kind of thought of ourselves as RFID superheroes. We could do pretty much anything with RFID. And we had a pretty impressive resume. Between the three of us, we had built machines to manufacture contactless smart cards. We had worked on developing the system for Washington, D.C., the Smart Trip system, the Chicago card system for Chicago, the Oyster card for London. We had worked with putting contactless technology into passports, which is now the standard. And we had deployed RFID systems for pedestrians at the San Ysidro border crossing. So we had a pretty impressive resume of what we had done in the past. So we pretty much thought that we could do anything in the area of RFID. So the question is, how did an RFID company become experts in handheld access control? Well, it really dates back to doing some work with refineries. One of the first projects that Telaeris got in the RFID area was to build a tool tracking system for tracking tools used in a maintenance event. So we knew which people had which tools, and we did this using RFID. The project worked so well that they kept giving us more jobs. And success really gives rise to more and more opportunities. So one of the next projects that we got doing work at refineries was a remote busing situation. This company had an off-site parking lot, and all their employees would get on a bus at this off-site parking lot, go to the gate. Everybody would get off the gate, get off the bus at the gate, and you would have 40 people go through the access control gate, then get back on the bus, and then go to their job site. And it turned out that it was a 10-15 minute ordeal to get everybody off the bus, back on the bus, through the gates. And they found they could make things much, much more efficient if they could just drive straight to. So we needed to be able to validate the people at the bus before they got on the bus. And so in 2006, where this refinery had 500 contractors coming into work, it was their 2006 cluster, we developed a mobile solution that we called our Max Cart that allowed us to do remote badging of all these people. And inside this cart, we effectively had a full access control panel. And this tied to wireless card readers, and it was tied into a cell network so that we could basically send the badge activities from the wireless handheld readers back to the access control system. And they loved it. It worked really well. The turnaround manager told me at the time that it saved the refinery somewhere on the order of $2 million in terms of improved time of efficiency for the refinery. So it's a pretty successful project. So the next year, in 2007, they had another maintenance event. And the safety manager came to me and said, we have this problem where we have this 10-story heat exchanger, a fluid catalytic cracker, where we have literally 200 people going inside of this thing doing maintenance. We literally cut holes in the side of the walls. People will go in, they'll do their welding, and then they'll come out. And at every entrance, we have to track people going in and out of these little holes. We have an attendant at every place, and right now we're doing it all by paper. So they asked us to come up with a better solution. So what we came up with was the first version of what is our XPressEntry system. We found a company called DataStrip that had a handheld device that we could put a badge reader in, So they could read their existing badges. We deployed this system, and we found it was a huge speed improvement. It was 4 times faster for badging them in, and instead of people having to collate 10 or 12 different pieces of paper to say whether everybody that went into the catalytic cracker during a shift got out, the whole system worked automatically because we took care to track who went in and who went out, and the back-end system figured it all out. And we thought we had a great system that saved them a ton of money, and we were sure we were going to take this to the bank. We would be able to deploy it at every refinery. And it turns out we were dead wrong. However, some of the people working at this refinery were access control professionals, and they saw our handheld badge reader, and they said, wait, from a handheld device you can read our security badges? We said, yeah, and this gave rise to our XPressEntry system. So we started selling this to access control people, and we went out to market literally by word of mouth. And people kept coming up to us with new badges and saying, can you read my I-Class card? Can you read my Prox card? Can you read my U.S. government PIV card? And the neat thing was that we could really read any card. And it just, again, success gives rise to opportunity. And we kept coming up with new projects. We had customers asking us to be able to do badging at vehicle gates. We had already done shuttle buses, but now we had a handheld solution that basically kept all the access privileges on the handheld that would synchronize back to the access control system. We had airports come to us wanting to track people's because they were having people jump the fences to go on the tarmac. Port authorities. We had quite a lot of opportunities coming up in access control. This coincided right with the recession that we had from 2008 to 2011. And we kind of had 3 different directions that we could go. We had a solid tool tracking system that we knew worked, that people really liked. We had developed a number of different RFID systems. And then we had this really nice handheld badge access control system. So with the recession, Telaeris downsized a bit, and we pivoted and we said, handheld badge access control seems to have the most legs. And it's actually a little bit funny because back in 2001, I had worked at Cubic Corporation, and one of the patents that I was issued working with Cubic was a portable smart card communication device. So basically a handheld badge reading device. And we had built this on a Palm Pilot, and it was one of the first portable smart card reading devices. And this is literally what we've been working on for 10 years. And we've worked with probably 10 different manufacturers, everything from an industrial badge reader that has no display to a Palm Pilot display to Windows CE to Windows Mobile to iOS and to Android. So we have more than 10 years working with these mobile handheld devices, validating people's credentials and validating people's biometrics and using a handheld device to identify people. So what the rest of this presentation will be talking about are the top 10 uses for handheld badge readers.